from 25. On the way. And splits the uprights.
Welcome in, everybody, to an episode of Titans Tube. This is going to be our post-game recap of the Denver Broncos game. And, Jake, it's going to be a winning edition because somehow, some way, despite the leg...
It feels so good.
Yes, despite the leg of a particular player on our team, he made it when it mattered the most at the very end, and the Titans pulled out...
Oh, my goodness.
Just an ugly win... But was it that ugly on the Titans side? We'll get to that in a little bit. But bear with us for this episode, guys, because we're tired. I know I am. I think we all are on this Tuesday morning. Why are we playing so late on a Monday night? Oh my gosh.
I'm on Eastern time zone here, man. I was up till
You have it worse.
2 a.m. The game ended 2 a.m. It was unreal.
Man. Oh my gosh.
I'm itching for that Sunday 1 o'clock noon game for you.
Yeah.
But, itching for that 1 o'clock kickoff.
Oh,
sure.
Definitely. I mean, we're the Titans, and that's pretty much our designated time slot. So we've got a lot of those coming up. So it's good to get
for sure. I'll get plenty.
Yeah, it'll be nice to get back to normalcy there. But yeah, Titans get the win, 16-14. Man, a lot to talk about in this game. But of course, the storyline is going to be Stephen Gostkowski, the newly signed kicker from the Patriots, who's coming off of a hip surgery. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't he kind of starting to miss more kicks than usual at the end of his tenure in New England? Is that due to that surgery?
I couldn't tell you for sure.
Yeah.
But Bill Belichick always knows, when
he's got
ever
that
Bill
sense.
Belichick seems to release a player, it's, what's wrong with this guy, the rest of the league might seem like, hey, he's a great candidate for your kicker spot, but, lo and behold, the Titans pick him up and he almost spoils the season.
I almost feel like Belichick is like scheming against the Titans on purpose like that. Like he's like, oh, our kicker. Yeah, I know the Titans need a kicker. I'll just let him think Gostkowski can still do it, and then he's tried to spoil our opener as revenge for beating him in the playoffs. Anyway, that is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Man, so
yeah.
Well, yeah, but a lot to get into besides the kicking issues that the Titans look like they are still going to be having this year. Tannehill looked pretty good to me. I saw some Twitter reaction how he was playing, and a lot of people thought that he was off his game, but he had some pretty good stats, finished with a 97 quarterback rating, no turnovers, always love seeing that. Titans did not turn the ball over one time, and that helps immensely
Love that.
in really tight football games like this. But I thought he was hitting some throws. He was squeezing the ball into tight windows, getting in there to Corey Davis, Mike Vrabel's player of the game, who had himself a 100-yard receiving day. Love seeing that. Man, it feels like a lot of vindication for a lot of the Corey Davis supporters, who this is the guy I think we wanted to see as the 5th overall pick in 2017. And he played like he felt like he was the number one wide receiver. He almost played like he was taking the A.J. Brown as our number one wide receiver personally. And he was like, wait a minute, I was the 5th overall pick here. I'm the number one guy. He's still number 2 going forward, but I'm just saying. He played like one.
For sure.
But
I mean, it's who's to say that he didn't, get a 100-yard receiving game off of Denver giving A.J. Brown a lot of attention, because A.J. Brown was a little bit quiet in this game, just 5 catches for 39 yards. He had a couple of first down grabs and looked at Speedy after the catch. There was one play where he turned over. I think they ruled him down eventually, but he could pop up and take that to the house. As soon as you could see that he had the ball. Yeah, that was a bad line. We'll cut that.
No, it's good. Yeah. It all stays.
AJ,
it all stays.
AJ Brown quiet on this game. Just 5 catches for 39 yards. I think Corey Davis's 100-yard receiving day very much came from Denver giving A.J. Brown a lot of attention. A.J. Bouye for Denver went out early in this game, didn't come back. And I feel like them committing personnel to A.J. Brown definitely helped out Corey Davis here.
Totally agree. And he still made his presence felt. He caught some first down passes for us. A.J. Brown did. Especially on that late clutch drive. Like, how about that final drive with 3 minutes left? Ryan Tannehill, talking about his performance, I thought he orchestrated exactly what we needed him to. I mean, he did that a couple times last year. We saw Mariota do it in the earlier part of his career, but I still haven't had that confident feeling. I did not have that confident feeling, especially since we had just come off back-to-back.
That's for damn sure.
Yeah, we had just come off back-to-back 3-and-outs, and then so somehow we get the ball back with yet another chance, and we're back up at our 10-yard line, I think it was.
Tannehill was able to put it together when it mattered, starting the drive at his own 10. He did miss that go-ahead touchdown throw to A.J. Brown, just out of the fingertips.
Hey, we'll get there.
But
this is like preseason rust that we're still working out.
Hey, well, rust. Yeah, we're just rusty. Gostkowski, just rusty.
Yeah, it's just rust. So. Anyone will go out there and miss
just a smidge of rust.
Kicks. Yeah. And I mean, and then kind of speaking of rust too, I think that helped us a lot because Denver, Denver fans, if you guys are here, this is going to be a hard loss to swallow. Dropping passes, you guys could have put the game away. That fourth down stop, I think was that in the fourth quarter or the third quarter with Jeffrey Simmons on that shovel pass.
I think that might have been third quarter.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
But I mean,
maybe second quarter. I don't know.
Yeah, well, no, I thought it was second half. Maybe not though. But anyway, I mean that's a huge play. That was a huge play in the game.
Play of the game, honestly.
Yeah, I mean if they convert that, then. We're talking about a whole different outcome here. Just that's got to be one of the worst ways to lose if you're a Broncos fan. And we've been there as Titans fans. I mean, we see this kind of game all the time, and it's like a 50-50 coin flip. Sometimes we come out on top, sometimes we don't.
I saw somebody say that this felt like a very 2018, 2017 Titans win where it seems like they did everything they could to get in their own way, be it missed kicks, be it, throwing the ball. It kills me every single time I see NFL quarterbacks throw a drag route on 3rd and 6 that's 5 yards, behind the first down line. It kills me. I saw them do that last night, not convert those third downs. Very 2017, 2018 ugly Titans win.
Agreed.
But back to the Stephen Gostkowski point, Justin. What do you do with Stephen Gostkowski? And B, do the missed kicks give a perception of the sloppiness or ugliness of this game? Because the Titans win by double digits if the kicking game goes off without a hitch. So
that's true.
Does that give you a false perception of, all the Titans players were tweeting, good, ugly team win, it's never pretty, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
So what do you do with Stephen Gostkowski? Do you let him kick another week? Do you see what happens? And then B, how do you feel about the Titans' outcome being that 10 points were left on the field?
Man, yeah, that seems to be the hot topic that I've been seeing the most. Because I think, from what I'm seeing, it's almost like the fan base is already like split evenly down the line. Like, no, we still got to get rid of him. Or yes, let him have another game. I kind of tend to think, yes, let him kick another game and see how it goes. But what's the backup plan at the same time? Like, I wish we would have just kept Greg Joseph. That's what I was thinking the whole time before Gostkowski made the game-winning kick. I was just thinking, J-Rob, what did you do? Because Greg Joseph didn't give us any reason to not re-sign him. He hit all of his extra points, and we just never attempted a field goal until I think it was the AFC Championship game, and I think he knocked it in.
The bar is so low that he just needs to make his extra points to stay on the team. That's all he needs.
Man.
Oh, jeez, and Pete's, man.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
It's crazy. And Gostkowski is like top 5, or he was top 5 most accurate kicker of all time.
I saw he was at 5th all-time accuracy-wise, I think, and he dropped down to 9th in one game. It's unreal. You can't even make it up.
That's a Titans thing. I think we're just kind of sort of snake bitten somehow at the kicker position. So all kickers need to stay away.
The curse of Rob Baronis?
Yeah. Or I don't know. Suckup was good. Suckup was great for the most part.
Yeah, see, okay. Yeah,
so
you got me there.
Whenever Suckup went out with an injury.
The curse of Ryan Suckup.
Yeah, then he just took all of the great kicking magic with him out of our team for forever.
Cooking.
So if he would have like that 25-yard chip shot at the end, if he would have like banged it off the upright and it somehow spiraled in and it was just another ugly kick and he made it, then I would be like, yeah, let's cut him.
Yeah,
that's
cut
ridiculous.
Him.
But
cut
the
him.
kick looked like a legitimate, NFL.
Yeah, he
kicker's
really drilled
kick
it
right down the middle. It had plenty of height and distance. So maybe he just had to get one knocked through, or
just see one go in.
Yeah. I'll give him another week because at the same time, I don't know what the backup option is. But you got to think there's kickers that are sitting on their couch right now waiting for a phone call that can knock in an extra point. Like that. That's the pretty low bar, right?
You'd hope.
But as to your second, Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
As to the second point about the missed kicks giving that false perception, I think it does because it seemed like the Titans were moving the ball. I saw we had 26 total first downs in that game, which is a lot, right? Like 26 first downs.
The offense did not have a problem moving the ball, for sure.
Yeah, and we had a lot of plays. I saw a lot of people like Ryan Tannehill, 43 passes. That wasn't in the game plan, or that's not the Titans formula. 43 passes. I was like, Derrick Henry had 31 carries. Like, we just had a lot of plays in general. Like, we had good balance. I don't think we mentioned Derrick Henry, but a very workmanlike 116 yards on 31 carries, 3.7 yards per carry average. That is the classic Eddie George game right there. Man,
longest rush, 13 yards. He seemed almost quiet just because we're coming off of that playoff run where, we're expecting 180 yards and 2 touchdowns and a signature stiff arm and
he never broke that long one.
That whole 9 yards. Yeah. But, he's still, over 100 yards. I think I saw the stat that was the Titans now moved to 14-0 when Derrick Henry has over 100 yards. So that stays true. Yeah, albeit on 3.7 yards a carry, still a huge factor. Tannehill was great in play action, as a lot of people were predicting him to be. And that's what freed up Corey Davis coming across the middle and him having a great game. So Derrick Henry had a lot of impact on this game,
for sure.
No doubt.
He was pacing the offense, and I mean, even when he gets his 6-7 yard chunks, like that's good. Like that keeps the ball moving, that keeps the defense honest. He did get lit up a couple times. I was kind of surprised. Like there was one number 47, Josie somebody, I can't remember. But he hit Henry backwards, and I'm like, I don't think that never happens. That was an impressive explosion off the line of scrimmage, or at the line of scrimmage. But he paced the offense. I thought, he looked good though, still running the ball. Like, man, I'm kind of worried about. I hope this isn't the plan. Like 31 carries after he was carried the ball how many times in the playoffs. I don't want to run him into the ground so quickly. I wish we could find a compliment to him. Darrington Evans, I don't know how long he's going to be injured. But hold on. Let me finish up the original points about the false perception of sloppiness and ugliness.
All good. Yeah, we trail off a little bit. It's all good.
Hey, me and Caleb, that was our MO.
Tuesday.
We trailed off all the time. Yeah. Victory Tuesday, we can take this thing wherever we
Anything
want to go.
goes. Anything goes.
No rules. But I think the missed kicks do kind of give that ugliness feeling, like 16-14, kind of a low-scoring, grinded-out game. But at the same time, I would like to see the offense finish on the touchdown drives. I think that there's things to be cleaned up there still at the same time. But yeah, like I said, 26 first downs. The offense was moving the ball. We had a couple really long touchdown drives. We ate up the whole third quarter entirely.
Sustained drives was a big win of the night, I think, for the offense.
Yeah. And the passing offense looked good, spreading the ball around. We've talked about Corey Davis, A.J. Brown, Adam Humphries getting a lot of clutch first downs.
Finally,
6
Adam
catches,
Humphries
yeah.
finding the soft spots, getting the third down conversions.
Man,
That's what we brought him in here to do, and it was great to see
yeah.
him do it last night for sure.
I am a little scared though after those top 3 because I don't know about you, but I got a little worried, seeing Cody Hollister and Khalif Raymond on the field like at the same time
on a long third down
multiple
play. I think I remember seeing that.
It's like, what are we doing? Like, I get we got to give our top 3 receivers, a break, get them out of the rotation. But just seeing those guys out there, it's like, man, we are thin as crap after those top 3 wide receivers. Like, if we have any injuries, we might be in trouble. Because, anybody after Humphries down there, I'm kind of worried. I mean, I like Khalif Raymond. It seems
Talk
like
about a quiet night.
Yeah, I wish we would just utilize him properly, and that's to be the burner downfield. It seemed like he was just running some regular routes. Tannehill missed him, I think, on a third down throw to the outside. And I think he kind of dropped a low pass, too, late in the game. It kind of bounced off his hands and rolled on the ground, which was incomplete.
Yeah, he didn't. He didn't have a catch. He had no catches on 2 targets,
and didn't do anything in the return game either. So, but I still like the speed. I wish we could get him with a full steam ahead, running downfield for a long bomb from Tannehill. I think that's kind of what he does best. And I don't know, he might just need to get his footing under him for the return game. But so as a whole, I think it took a night to sleep on it, and I saw some people on Twitter talking about it too. Like, this really wasn't a bad performance week 1. If you take out the Gostkowski kicks, we would have had 26 points.
I think, at a 26-14 victory, I don't think you have as many people sounding off about, is this team a contender? Weigh it back and forth. And it's week 1 with, a really odd offseason, no preseason. Every team in the NFL is making that excuse this week. So, things to improve on for sure. You mentioned finishing touchdown drives instead of, God forbid, sending out Gostkowski again. But things to clean up, and we've seen Mike Vrabel clean up these kind of things in the past. So I'm feeling still confident in this team after this week 1 win.
Yeah.
It's just good to get the hell out of Denver with the win, and we'll just chalk it up as the W. And
this is like one of the best kind of wins because you still get the win. It's the same win as if you had won 42-0, but you do have a lot of things to work on. Obviously, the kicking game, but it's not like the team is going to come humming in week 2, getting ready to play Jacksonville all high and mighty. They're going to buckle down and get to work and try to correct the things that can be corrected. Because you don't feel totally good about this win if you're a player as well, and especially with Jacksonville coming off of their win against the Colts. I don't think we're going to be overlooking them whatsoever, especially now after almost letting this one get away in Denver. So I think it's kind of a win-win scenario. We get the win, but we also don't feel so good enough to where we kind of get in our own heads a little bit and think like, oh yeah, we're going to be a contender this year. There's a lot to work on.
Yeah, keeps it more of a chip on our shoulder.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Mm-hmm. All right, you want to swap over to the defense here?
Yes, let's do it.
All right. Defense had I think a pretty good overall performance last night. Rashaan Evans, first and foremost, you got to be smarter, more level-headed on the field, man. Also, I was watching the game with my dad last night. He says, what good is punching a man who has a helmet on? All you're going to do is break your hand and get ejected from the game. So Rashaan Evans, I think I saw he's only been penalized like single-digit amount of times in his career. And so very uncharacteristic of Rashaan Evans, but, you got to keep a level head in that situation. You can't get thrown out of the week 1 game really, really early. I want to say it was Denver's opening drive almost. That's or at least their first or second drive.
That's some like Taylor Lewan 2016 behavior right there, Rashaan. Come on, don't get yourself thrown out of the game because you can't keep your head straight.
Don't need any of that. But other than that, I feel like the defense played pretty well. The secondary looked thin. Jonathan Joseph went out of this game with an injury, but he eventually did come back.
Yeah.
Chris Jackson played significant snaps, seventh rounder out of Marshall.
I thought that was pretty surprising. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it was counting special team snaps as well, but he played more snaps than Christian Fulton last night. And
yeah,
I think,
is that worrisome? Like that should be like a storyline there. Like our 7th rounders getting as many or more snaps than our 2nd round draft pick out of LSU.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Kevin Byard's speaking very highly of him throughout training camp. And,
he did, yeah.
And maybe he's earned those reps over Christian Fulton. You know, it's under this Mike Vrabel, John Robinson regime we've seen, you know, it doesn't matter how much stock we have invested in you. If you're not performing, we're going to give somebody else who is, you know, the amount of reps. So,
yeah.
Something of note there, I think. We had another signature goal line stop, as we alluded to earlier.
Man, yeah.
Denver had run a shovel pass. It was kind of a questionable play call.
I'd be
it was
heated.
Swallowed up by Big Jeff.
I'd be mad.
Yeah,
if I
Titans
was
fans
Denver.
would have burned down Twitter.com. And if Mike Vrabel trotted out a shovel pass to I can't remember they're Jake Butt, which is one of the funniest names in the NFL to me because Jake and Butt. But Jeffrey Simmons Jeffrey Simmons swallowed that up, and it was a huge momentum swing.
Yeah. Man,
good on the defense for getting another great stop there.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, if I was a Denver fan, I would be pissed because, man, as Titans fans, I remember against the Texans, we did a handoff to a tight end on a 4th and goal at the 1 situation, and that was infuriating. And then for some reason under Mike Mularkey, and I think Vrabel did this too, there's like a few 2-point conversion situations that were clutch where we've drawn up a play that we've never seen before, that this offense, they've just, it's just like run a regular play. Like what why are we getting fancy in a hugely clutch situation? And it was a disaster every single time. So we've seen those head scratching play calls all the time. And then it's funny because whenever we get the ball,
alone, Denver.
Yeah, whenever the Titans get the ball and we're at the 1.5 yard line and it's 4th and goal for us, guess what we do? We run a regular play and pitch it out to a wide open Jonnu Smith for our 2nd touchdown. So it's kind of like, there you go. That's how you do it. You don't have to get fancy. You know, just run some play action. It shouldn't be that difficult to pick up a 1/2 yard if you just execute, you know, a regular freaking play. So I feel for Denver fans there because that's a tough pill to swallow because that was a big momentum swing, like you said.
As far as Denver's offensive performance, I will eat crow to the 2 people in the comments of our preview video calling me out for how I spoke about Noah Fant, which was not negative for the record.
I didn't think it was negative. Yeah, I thought you were kind of giving him props. Like, it's not a bad season in his rookie year, but you can expect, you know, a bigger volume in his 2nd year.
And
that's like all you said.
That's what we saw last night. Noah Fant had 81 yards and a touchdown. It seemed like he was kind of a comfort target for Drew Lock. Jerry Jeudy helped us out with a couple of drops, albeit. But
and Fant kind of disappeared in the second half. Am I wrong about that? It didn't seem like he got as involved, and I don't know why they kind of went away from him.
I think the Denver offense kind of as a whole disappeared. It seemed like they couldn't move the ball as well in the second half. It kind of felt like. I mean, the score was kind of the same with that 14-13, but this game felt like the New England game in the playoffs last year, kind of. And just you're going to trade the ball. How many times is the offense going to get a chance to, you know, go take a lead? They had multiple chances to go take a lead. Stephen Gostkowski. But, you know, yeah. But
I'm with you.
Yeah. Anyways, going back to the Denver offense. Jerry Jeudy helped us out with a couple of drops. He had a couple of open for 1st down catches too on long 3rd downs. Had a couple of drops.
You can point to, it's one of those games you can point to like 1 or 2 plays here or there where it's like if you didn't drop that pass, if Gostkowski would have made this field goal earlier or just any little thing, and Drew Lock missed a pass to Hamilton for a touchdown on the sideline before our game-winning drive. So it's like if one of these plays goes your way, it's a completely different game. We did catch a couple breaks there. But anyway, continue.
Without a doubt. Melvin Gordon. I kind of thought Melvin Gordon was a little over the hill coming into this year. I think he had a good game other than the Kevin Byard strip. Kevin Byard stripped him again. Butterfingers Gordon, I think I said in the preview video.
You called it, yep.
Yeah.
That was good.
After his goal line fumble last year. Melvin Gordon had a good game other than that fumble, I thought. He 5.2 yards a carry. It seemed like he was consistently gaining yardage on our front seven. He had 78 yards, and he had the rushing touchdown in the second half for them.
Yeah.
Shout out to what we've alluded to as the best safety duo in the NFL.
No doubt.
Kevin Byard and Vaccaro led the team in tackles. I don't think that surprises anybody. I thought the defense as a whole did a great job swarming to the ball, flying around the field.
Not a whole lot of yards
again,
after catch, yeah.
Yeah. Good tackling, I thought. Tackling has been very clean, even going back to Sunday's games. I think for no preseason, the quality of play has been pretty good. I don't know what you've thought, but I think it's been pretty good.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, for sure.
And I don't know if you heard about this, but we had a new player donning number 99 for us. His name's Jadeveon Clowney.
Never heard of him.
He just had 2 tackles, one for loss on I think Drew Lock muffed the snap, and
I wish that would have counted
Clowney
as a
was there to
sack.
swallow it up.
I wish he could have.
Say again?
I wish he could have been credited with a sack. That would have been.
Yeah, I thought that too. I
cool,
thought it was
but
one
no.
sack, but
No sack.
but
for
whatever.
You.
I
Have to
thought
wait.
Clowney looked good.
Yeah.
If you take away his, kind of 2 tackles, only 1 for loss, I thought he was buzzing around the backfield, constantly making players change direction, kind of forcing them back in. I thought he played a good debut for us. Obviously with the high caliber name, you would like to see a little more on the box score, but box scores don't always usually tell it. And Clowney's just a game wrecker anyway,
Yeah.
so.
Well, unfortunately, we didn't hit home on any of our pass rushing. We didn't record a single sack, but I think we came up with
Several hurries,
a
I'd
couple,
imagine. They were getting to Drew Lock, just not converting on the sack.
Yeah, there's a couple quarterback hits that was registered. I saw. I wish hurries or QB pressures could be. I know you can probably find that somewhere, but it's not like one of the basic stats. Yeah, I know Landry hit Lock as he threw a pass late in the game that fell incomplete.
That was on a 3rd down, I think.
Yeah, that was on a 3rd down, and so we ended up getting the ball after that. So that was big. So yeah, we had some time where there was some pressure, and I think a few players got a few tackles for loss as well. So we were able to get some penetration behind the line of scrimmage.
Overall, coming out of
the
crazy offseason, I thought both sides of the ball played pretty well. Obviously excluding the special teams.
Brett Kern had a 66-yard punt, though.
Yeah, he did have a bomb. That was good. That was good. But there was a certain kicker who kind of
There's another guy that uses his leg that did not perform as well.
Yeah.
Correct.
But I think good team performance as a whole. Obviously, yeah, we said a lot to work on moving forward to Jacksonville, who looked kind of good. It might be we'll talk about this more in our preview video, but it could be more of the Colts being not what we thought they were, or
hope it's
Minshew went 19 of 20, so that's nothing to sneeze at either. So
yeah,
so
that's pretty crazy, no matter who the opponent is or what the scheme is. And I think his one incompletion was a dropped pass, so it's like, okay, so he was football Jesus on Sunday. That's fine.
A lot of people love that stash, man.
I know, it's
Uncle
the stash.
Rico.
Man, yeah.
Pigskin a quarter mile.
Right. I wish he didn't play in Jacksonville, because he's got like spunk and that charisma that's like likable. Like there's a lot of players that have that swagger about them where it's just like either cringy or just rubs me the wrong way. But like, I think he's genuine. I like him. And I wish he wasn't in Jacksonville, so it would be fun to root for him. But no, we have to. I hope he plays horribly against us, and I hope we run him out of the league because he's a Jaguar.
That would be great. We haven't beat.
Career's ruined. Great.
Yeah. We have yet to beat Gardner Minshew. Is there a new Andrew Luck on the block?
Yeah.
Oh no.
I mean, we got to come ready to play this Jacksonville game because he a lot of people want to say that Denver shutout loss last year was the most embarrassing. I would argue possibly our
Thursday
game in
night
Jacksonville, was even more. We were terrible that game, and Minshew made us look bad on top of all that. So, we'll see. And they got a new number 30 Robinson running back who looked pretty dang good out there too. So they've got a couple weapons on a tanking team apparently. But are we over this game? Is there more to talk about? We're already previewing Jacksonville. Sorry.
Yeah. I guess a couple other points. I saw a lot of people in the Denver fan base and community really upset with Vic Fangio's clock management at the end.
Oh yeah, of course.
On Tennessee's drive, the game-winning drive that took them all the way down the field. I was, for one, infuriated at Mike Vrabel playing for the field goal in that situation. I understand that, somebody's got to think, smartly. That's not even a word, is it? I don't know. Somebody has to think smart about this.
More smarter, yeah.
But I could not believe he was playing to send out Stephen Gostkowski again. And, all the stats and everything backs up. He's going to hit the chip shot for the win. That's what's probably going to happen. But I did not want to see number 3 take the field at all. But
I think once we got to a certain point on the field, I think maybe like the 15 or the 10-yard line, and there was like a minute and a half still, and then that's when he was like, okay, we're pretty much at chip shot range now. I'm good with letting it run down to like 30, 40 seconds. And if they're not going to call a timeout for some reason, then I'll call a timeout, and that's still enough time to try to get it in the end zone if you're at like the 10. So and maybe that was the thought.
A.J. Brown overthrow.
Yeah, and that's where, man, that would have been nice to have.
Oh, man. My heart sunk on that one. Yeah, my frustration with Vrabel there was definitely more of a fan in the moment kind of thing. Like, geez, God, I swear if he sends him out and he misses this kick, I'm gonna be sick.
Dude, that would go down as one of the worst kicking performances maybe ever. Like missing 5 kicks honestly, in a game where you lose by 2, and one of them's a chip shot.
Oh my God. Denver really, they had, I think, all 3 timeouts, and they didn't refuse to use them. Didn't use them to try and save some time for themselves. They did get a shot at the end there, but not really. I think they had only 17 some seconds left.
Yeah.
But I think we mentioned it earlier a little bit. There were some injuries on the Denver side of the ball that were, I think, significant. AJ Bouye went out, we mentioned, and didn't come back. Philip Lindsay, which sucks. For me, he's my number 2 fantasy back, but that's a conversation for another story.
Why is Philip? No, let's talk about this, Jake. Let's talk about this. Why
let's talk about my
number
fantasy
2
team.
RB2? No, okay, sorry. Continue.
Philip Lindsay he's a playmaker. Playmaker out of the game, and then obviously the play call on the 4th down shovel pass at the goal line was a little questionable. There were a couple of things that definitely leaned toward the Titans side of this. I think that plays to what we mentioned in the preview, which is the continuity and being more familiar and not trying to try these gadget plays in a sense. I could be off base on that, but I feel like the confidence Arthur Smith has in the Titans offense is more so than whoever's calling the plays for Denver is for their set of guys, especially with Philip Lindsay out and Judy with a couple of drops on the game. So
and then the one turnover in the game swung our way. You can point at that play as well as being a huge change for us, because that's the drive. Following that drive, we got our first touchdown. Shout out Michael Pruitt. Shout out to our tight ends, man. Pruitt.
Tight ends were great.
Jonnu with the 2 touchdowns, and then Ferkser had a big time 3rd down conversion. I think
it was a first down.
Did you just coin that? If you did, then write it down.
Trademarked. That is trademarked. That. Titans too.
Ferks down Titans. I like it. Man, I'm never gonna forget that now. That's what I'm gonna think of every time he catches one.
That's a T-shirt idea. Hang 10.
Yo, get on it. Hang 10. Hey, I'm wearing them. I'm wearing for the boy.
For the boy.
Speaking of the boys, I guess shout out Will Compton for not being on the roster until like a week before the season, and then coming in immediately to help fill
Playing
in
significant snaps,
yeah, for Rashaan Evans. Wearing that 53 now, repping that Keith Bullock. I like it.
For sure.
Man, what
you got anything else for this game, Justin?
I don't know. There's probably some things to talk about. Yeah, the offensive line did a good job, right? Like, the protection was pretty good. Like, we gave up 1 sack early. Lawan went out. Man, that was scary, but he came back.
I feel like he pulls that once every, like, 6, 7, 8 games. He'll get help off the field, and then he'll just get shot up, I'm sure, and send him right back in. That's the kind of guy he is.
Yeah. That would be devastating with how things are turning out with Isaiah Wilson, and then to lose Lawan to injury, that would be very bad. Yeah.
I mean, I think Nate Davis had.
I was just about to say, yeah. How about Nate Davis coming into his second year? Did he commit any penalties? I don't think so. He seemed like
he did. He had an early one. He had a false start. There was a string of penalties early on that the Titans had pre-snap, and I saw people complaining, "How do you have pre-snap penalties when there's no crowd?"
Yeah.
But
it's weird.
No preseason
Nate,
again, so.
Because I think at this point we kind of know what we're getting with Lawan. Ben Jones has been here long enough. Saffold has come along nicely after I think kind of a rough start to his Titans tenure. And I think we're pretty okay with Dennis Kelly. It would be nice if he could get back to his swing rotational swing tackle role. If we had a better right tackle to put there, that would be nice. But then Nate Davis coming into his second season, right? He's a 3rd-round pick out of last year.
Yeah.
From Charlotte. He was hurt a lot last year. He didn't start starting until the latter half of the season. Seemed like he was coming along. And then the season's over after, like, he played in how many games? Like 8, maybe? I don't know. I'll have to look that up. But that'll be an interesting thing to see. Like, is this guy going to solidify the right guard spot for us for years to come? Is he gonna?
That would be great.
Is he gonna be that guy? So, yeah. Again, with the continuity thing, it would be nice to have that hammered down with him as well. So yeah, pretty pleased with that, with the line, with that performance. Like you said, early penalties early on in the game, but we ended up with just 5 for the rest of the game.
Clean game.
Yeah.
Clean game.
No turnovers.
A lot of people's worries. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, overall, again, when you leave 10 points on the field in the kicking game, of course, it's going to be an ugly game. But I feel like the Titans controlled this game. It never felt like they were the team that was supposed to lose this game. And that might be, the fan talking in me.
Yeah.
But I feel like they controlled this game kind of from start to finish. Like you said, they had 20, how many first downs?
Yeah, we had 26. I mean, they still they kind of matched us in a lot of stats. They had 19, which is nothing to scoff at. I mean, that's a pretty good first down number there. But relatively even. They also had just 5 penalties. We had about 40 more
turnover
total
battle
yards than
in these kinds of games.
Yeah.
Man.
You gotta win the turnover battle. Gotta convert your 4th and goals at the 1. Sorry, Denver.
Yeah.
No, shouldn't have been doing shovel
that counts
passing there.
Turnover too. That's 2 turnovers.
Yeah, you can really count that as a as a turnover. Our missed kicks really is what kept them in the game a lot. But early on, still though, like I felt like we were the better team. We at least had the better players. It seemed like, but because especially with their injuries. You can definitely tell that they were struggling with some players
Von
missing.
Miller, and being down Sutton, and I think Hamilton might have missed this game too. Was that
no?
Who
It was
I saw?
it was KJ Hamler. I think it was
the
second round wide receiver pick.
So
but
Denver
they were
had
still
a lot
playing
of big injuries.
neck and neck with us. I was just thinking, like, man, if we don't win this game, like, yes, it's a kicking issue, but I feel like we have better players on the field, and I think we're just getting out coached or out schemed.
I feel like it would have been one of those games.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Or just like technically speaking, they were playing just more overall sound football. So I give credit to Denver. I think they're gonna be okay. I think they're gonna definitely win some games this year. I wouldn't get down on yourself if you're a Denver fan. Alarm just went off. But
hello.
I think I think Drew Lock. I kind of like what I've been seeing with Drew Lock. I still think he might be their guy. I think he's still got some stuff to prove, but I like his arm. I think he's got enough athleticism to scramble around. He's got good escapability if he needs to. Could work on his deep passing, because he missed that long deep shot.
There were he did have a few inaccurate throws downfield, I thought. Yeah.
But when Judy had the ball in his hands, he looked very dangerous. They're going to get Sutton back. Melvin Gordon and Phillip Lindsay's a good running back duo. So, I like what I'm seeing with what Denver's doing with their team. So, there's a lot to be excited about. It's hard to say that to a Denver fan after a terribly heart-wrenching loss like this.
But I know you got to get going. I know that your cookie timer went off there.
Cookie time.
I feel, I know you got to get going. I wanted to say that I felt like this was one of those games where if the Titans did end up on the losing end come, early December when we're starting to be in the playoff hunt, you look back at and, man, that was really one that we could have notched as an AFC win.
Yes.
Could have been hugely important because I think Denver's going to be contending for wild card spots. I mean, I want the Titans to win the South, but you have to consider all things when it comes playoff time. I just feel like I had the horrible feeling in my stomach that, come December, we're going to be looking back at this game as one we really should have had. Denver was depleted with injuries, and we looked like the better team, and we just couldn't kick it. But Steven Gostkowski may have saved his job with a 25-yard field goal. For another week at least. God, I can't even imagine if he trots out at the Jacksonville game next week and misses his first kick.
He should just be happy that there's no fans in the stands to boo if he struggles again. Geez. That would be bad.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I like what you said, though. Like, this is a good win because I could see Denver being there at the end of the season to where this would be a clutch tiebreaker. Or if not, then it'd be a good, conference record AFC win to have when stacking us up against other AFC teams. Because last year, we did kind of blow out Cleveland in week 1. We kind of ran away with that game. It wasn't like a coin flip game like this one was. But by the end of the season, like if that game had gone the other way and they would have won, they would have been in a much better spot to try to get a wild card. I think they ended up with a tie one game. So did they have a tie last year?
I can't remember. They were either 6-10, 6-9-1, maybe. Something there.
Oh, okay. So if they only had 6 wins, maybe I thought they won more games than what they really did. But if that, I was just making a point that Cleveland had won that game, that would have been a much different look for the AFC playoff picture. And they would have definitely been way more in the running. But anyway, so we'll see how that shapes up down the stretch. But hey, man, 1-0 feels good to be 1-0.
Cheers to a victory Tuesday. No matter how late the game went last night, we're recording this at 11 a.m. Central here. Gostkowski is still on the roster, I think, as far as we know.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll need to check
that could change. Sure. We had a lot of changes in rosters before the preview video, so hopefully Gostkowski is not a moot point in this. But 1-0 feels great. Definitely feels a hell of a lot better than 0-1 after missing 4 kicks.
Yo.
So
thank
God it went in. That last kick went in.
And then then last year we lay a dud against the Colts, so hopefully we don't have the same week 2 divisional opponent let down. It would be nice to be 2-0, so let's gun for that. For next week.
Best part about being 1-0 is the opportunity to be 2-0. So.
Boom. Who said that?
Let's go forward.
Saffold? I saw someone on the team tweeted that.
Jeffrey Simmons, I think.
Amen, bro. Oh, yeah, maybe it was Simmons.
Yeah.
Man, he had a game. Man, he's going to be good. He's going to be good. I'm excited about Simmons. I'm pumped.
Yeah, for sure. Landry, Simmons, Clowney up front. Vic Beasley, if he ever sees the field ever.
Please, Beasley.
That could be, Tennessee Tyrants situation. So that's maybe a conversation for down the road. But, 1-0, man. Feels good.
Feels good, man. Feels good. And credit to Jake too. You did a lot of tweeting from the Titans Tube account, and I appreciate you for doing that.
I hope it wasn't too ranty for those who followed along.
I don't know. We might have lost like 500.
There were some low points. There were some low points in those tweets where I was fuming.
Yes. I was. Yeah.
As
I
any Titans fan
things
would be. As any Titans fan would be.
Right. But good stuff. Good stuff, man. So thanks for watching, everyone. We'll get that preview Jags video out probably later, maybe by the end of the week. Hopefully, it's a short week. Yeah. Here we are, man. We're in the NFL season. We're playing
Surprise.
games now every week now. So get ready. We are in it. The train is moving
to win it.
Exactly. We're in it to win it all. Give us that Lombardi. We are going to win the ugliest, most forgettable Super Bowl
If we can field a kicker, we're contenders.
Yes. Yeah, really.
That's a big if. That's a big if. Seemingly
so hard to find a kicker after years of having competent kickers.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's our turn.
I miss Baronis and I miss Suck Up. But anyway,
Prime Suck Up.
All right, man. Well, thanks for jumping on YouTube with us, everyone. Hope you guys enjoyed the game and enjoyed our comments on this video. Let us know what you thought about the game. You worried about Gostkowski? How do you feel about the Titans? Team moving forward. How do you feel about next week against Jacksonville? Are they for real, or are they going to be tanking for Trevor Lawrence? I have no idea. I really don't know what they're trying to do. Are they trying to win a Super Bowl? I don't know. I hope
Who knows?
Not.
Who knows?
I don't want to live in that world.
All right. Well, anyways, chance to take the lead in the division. We're playing for the division lead next week.
Yes, love it. Bring it on. Bring it on, Jags. All right, everybody.
Appreciate it, y'all. Have a good one.
Have a good one.
Tighten up.